NASA's Perseverance rover, a six-wheeled robotic explorer, has found a rock.
Mars drone exposed a terrifying discovery that threatens all of humanity.
By NASA's Perseverance rover could hold the answer to the question of life on Mars.
These aren't mere pebbles or barren vistas. These are glimpses of something more profound, possibly even sinister, lurking beneath. Over a decade ago, the Curiosity rover first made its mark on Mars, soon followed by Perseverance. What if the truths they reveal are more horrifying than we're prepared for? Join us as we explore Mars, uncovering secrets that could change everything we know. Exposing Mars mysteries. What you're witnessing isn't a desolate, rocky terrain from our own Earth. This is Mars. 13 years ago, NASA's Curiosity rover embarked on a groundbreaking journey to Mars, with Perseverance joining the quest 3 years back. Tasked with exploring the planet and scrutinizing its surface, these rovers have recently transmitted astonishing footage that has captured the globe's attention. So, what exactly are these videos showing? And what have these rovers achieved since they landed on Mars? Our curiosity about Mars, often called the Red Planet, goes back hundreds of years. But it wasn't until the space age that we started to get a close look. The first successful mission to Mars was Mariner 4, launched by NASA in 1964. It flew by the planet and sent back the first close-up pictures of Mars, revealing a surface full of craters, much like our moon. This success made us even more eager to learn about our neighboring planet. Over the years, many more missions followed. The Viking missions in the 1970s were particularly notable. Viking 1 and Viking 2 not only landed on Mars, but also conducted experiments to search for signs of life. While they didn't find clear evidence of life, these missions collected a lot of valuable information about Mars' soil, atmosphere, and climate. Since those early missions, our exploration of Mars has come a long way. Each new mission builds on what we've learned before. In the 1990s, the Mars Pathfinder mission introduced the Sojourner rover, a small, six-wheeled vehicle that drove around the Martian surface, studying rocks and soil. This was a big step forward, showing that we could not only reach Mars, but also explore its surface in detail. But that was just the beginning. In the 2000s, we became even more ambitious.
Just getting there is not enough. For us, we need to do more than that.
The Mars Global Surveyor orbited the planet, providing detailed maps of its surface. Then in 2001, the Mars Odyssey mission made an exciting discovery: large amounts of hydrogen just beneath the Martian surface, suggesting the presence of water ice. These findings have kept the idea alive that life might have once existed on Mars, or that it could still exist today. They also fueled the dream that humans might one day live on this distant planet. Additionally, Mars could be a new home for us as Earth faces challenges like climate change and a growing population. But before we can think about living there, we need to understand Mars better. That's why space missions are focused on exploring this planet. Spirit explored the Gusev crater, while Opportunity made important discoveries in Meridiani Planum, including evidence of ancient water. These successes encouraged NASA to develop even more advanced rovers to deepen our understanding of Mars and explore new scientific questions. So, what came after Spirit and Opportunity? The next big step was the Curiosity rover. As the first of the more advanced rovers, Curiosity was launched by NASA on November 26, 2011. After a 9-month journey, it landed in Gale Crater on Mars on August 6, 2012. This spot was chosen because it might have held ancient water and possibly even signs of life. But the landing wasn't easy. It involved a series of complicated procedures, including the dramatic sky crane maneuver, all packed into what's famously called the 7 minutes of terror. And this was just the beginning of Curiosity's mission. Landing the Curiosity rover on Mars was a huge success, despite many challenges along the way. The moment it touched down, Curiosity began sending back the first pictures from Mars, marking the start of a bold new chapter in space exploration. These weren't just pictures. They opened a door to exciting new scientific discoveries and possibly even answers to the age-old question of whether life ever existed on other planets. Curiosity is about the size of a car, packed with advanced tools and instruments to explore and study the Martian surface. It's 10 feet long, 9 feet wide, and 7 feet tall, weighing nearly 2,000 pounds. This incredible piece of technology is a shining example of human creativity and our thirst for knowledge. Among the many tools on board is the ChemCam, a standout feature that plays a crucial role in the mission. Let's explore how today's science turns yesterday's fiction into reality. Curiosity's sci-fi arsenal. The ChemCam is like something out of science fiction, a high-powered laser that can vaporize rocks and soil from a distance. By analyzing the gases released, Curiosity can determine what the rocks and soil are made of without needing to physically collect samples. It's like having a laser gun, but instead of fighting, it's used for science, giving us vital information about the makeup of Mars. Curiosity is powered by a reliable energy source called a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, RTG. This generator converts heat from the decay of plutonium-238 into electricity. Thanks to the RTG, Curiosity can keep working day and night through all seasons on Mars, no matter how tough the conditions get. The RTG ensures that Curiosity never runs out of power, continuously sending valuable data back to Earth. But this wasn't the most difficult part. Creating and sending such an advanced rover to Mars was a monumental task in itself. The entire mission, known as the Mars Science Laboratory, including Curiosity, had a budget of about $2.5 billion. This huge investment shows just how important these discoveries are for all of humanity. The knowledge we gain from Curiosity's work is priceless, expanding our understanding of the universe and our place in it. The name Curiosity wasn't chosen lightly. NASA values public involvement, especially from young students, to spark interest in science and space exploration. In 2009, they held an essay contest asking students across the United States to suggest a name for the rover and explain their choice. Clara Ma, a sixth grader from Kansas, won the contest with her suggestion of Curiosity.
I selected the name Curiosity, and I chose that name because I was really curious about space and our planets and our solar system.
Clara's essay beautifully explained that curiosity is a burning flame in everyone's mind. She described how it drives us to wake up each day, eager to see what new things we can learn. She argued that curiosity is a powerful force, essential to who we are as explorers and scientists, pushing us to ask questions and seek a deeper understanding of the world. NASA was deeply moved by Clara's thoughts, which perfectly captured the spirit of exploration. Her words aligned with the mission's goals, reminding us why we look to the stars and strive to learn more about our universe. Naming the rover Curiosity was a perfect tribute to this idea, symbolizing our shared drive to explore, discover, and grow in our quest for knowledge. What has the rover Curiosity found on Mars with all its advanced technology and significant funding? Since it landed, Curiosity's exploration has been incredibly successful, giving us a much clearer picture of the red planet. For example, did you know that Curiosity found organic materials on Mars? It studied rock samples from Gale Crater and discovered these organic materials within the rocks. Organic materials, which include carbon, are essential building blocks that could support life. This discovery is important because it hints that Mars might have been a place where life could exist in the past, even if life never actually developed there. Scientists have pointed out that the carbon isotopes found in carbon dioxide and methane on Mars might be clues from ancient life. However, these same signals could also come from non-living processes, like chemical reactions caused by sunlight hitting Mars' carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere. But this isn't the most surprising part. This discovery has sparked more research, not just by Curiosity, but by other missions focused on finding life in the universe. Curiosity has also observed changes in methane levels near Mars' surface. On Earth, methane usually comes from living things, but we don't know if that's the case on Mars. While Curiosity can't say for sure if the methane comes from living sources, it does raise the possibility that there might be some form of life-related activity on Mars. Now let's uncover what Mars' ancient rocks tell us. The quest for ancient waters. Another key mission for Curiosity was to study the origins and history of Martian rocks. The rocks around Gale Crater formed about 4 billion years ago and later moved to Yellowknife Bay, where they turned into sedimentary rocks. About 70 million years ago, natural erosion exposed these rocks to surface radiation. This information is crucial for scientists trying to understand how erosion happens on Mars and how radiation could affect organic materials in these rocks, which might help in the search for signs of life. But that's not all. Curiosity has also provided insights into Mars' watery past. Water is crucial for life, and the rock formations in Gale Crater suggest that there was once plenty of water on Mars. For example, Curiosity found jarosite, a mineral that only forms in wet environments, indicating that water once existed on Mars. An experiment showed that the jarosite is younger than expected, suggesting that water might have remained below the surface even as the planet's surface became drier. This means Mars might have been a potential home for life for much longer than scientists originally thought. The Curiosity rover has helped us understand how Mars changed from a warm and wet place to the cold, dry planet we see today. It did this by studying water on Mars, particularly looking at the ratio of deuterium to hydrogen. This ratio showed that Mars has been losing hydrogen and water over time. This information is important for scientists trying to figure out how Mars' climate has evolved over millions of years. Curiosity also found traces of nitrogen in a form that could support life, similar to how it does on Earth. This was a surprising discovery because nitrogen has to be in a specific chemical form to be useful for life. The rover found this type of nitrogen, known as nitrate, in Martian rocks, suggesting that Mars might have been able to support life about 3.5 billion years ago. These findings were so important that NASA decided to keep Curiosity's mission going until at least 2025. But Mars is a huge planet, and Curiosity can only explore a small part of it. To cover more ground, NASA sent another rover, Perseverance. Perseverance was launched on July 30th, 2020, and it arrived on Mars on February 18th, 2021. It was sent to the Jezero crater because scientists think it might have been a river delta or a lake long ago, making it a great place to look for signs of past life. The landing of Perseverance was a nerve-wracking event. As it sped through Mars' atmosphere at about 12,000 miles per hour, it faced the tough 7 minutes of terror where it had to survive the intense entry and landing. It used a parachute and a special maneuver called a sky crane to land safely on Mars, continuing the exploration work that Curiosity started. But this wasn't the most challenging part. Perseverance's mission also includes collecting samples that might one day be brought back to Earth for detailed study. This could be the key to unlocking Mars' secrets about life. The rover had to perform a series of complicated tasks all by itself because the huge distance between Earth and Mars makes real-time communication impossible. Even with this challenge, everything went smoothly, and Perseverance landed safely on Mars, ready to begin its mission. Perseverance is about the size of a car, and while it shares some similarities with its predecessor, Curiosity, it comes with several important upgrades. It's equipped with a range of advanced scientific tools designed to study the Martian surface in detail. One standout tool is called MOXIE, which aims to produce oxygen on Mars. The rover also has a sophisticated set of cameras and sensors, including 19 cameras, the most ever sent to Mars. These cameras capture high-quality images and videos of the Martian landscape, helping scientists on Earth learn more about the planet's geology and look for signs of ancient life. Next, see how the Perseverance rover continues to reveal Mars' secrets. Mars through Perseverance's eyes. Perseverance has a drill that collects rock and soil samples, storing them in sealed tubes that might one day be returned to Earth by another mission. Its wheels have been redesigned to be more durable and provide better grip, which is essential for getting around the rough Martian terrain. The rover is powered by a generator that converts heat from radioactive decay into electricity, allowing it to work through all Martian seasons. But here's an interesting part. Perseverance got its name from a Name the Rover contest held in 2019. Students across the United States were invited to suggest names, and a 7th grader named Alexander Mather won with Perseverance. He chose this name because it reflects humanity's determination and drive, which are crucial for space exploration. Now, you might think 19 cameras are more than enough, but there's more. Perseverance has a companion, an experimental helicopter named Ingenuity. This little helicopter adds a new dimension to the mission, offering a unique way to scout the Martian landscape from the air. The Ingenuity helicopter touched down on Mars on February 18, 2021, tucked safely under the Perseverance rover. This was a historic moment. Scientists were excited to see if a helicopter could really fly on Mars, where the air is much thinner than on Earth, just 1% as thick. At first, Ingenuity was only supposed to complete 5 short flights over 30 Martian days. The main goal was to prove that it was possible to fly in Mars' thin atmosphere. Each flight could last up to 90 seconds, reaching heights between 10 and 16 feet. But Ingenuity quickly exceeded these expectations. After its first 5 flights went well, the team at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory planned more flights to see how the little helicopter could help with exploring Mars. Ingenuity started acting as a scout, finding interesting spots for Perseverance to check out, improving navigation, and testing the limits of its flying abilities. From above, Ingenuity gathered important data, finding the best routes and spotting geological features that would have been hard to see from the ground. The helicopter itself is quite remarkable. It weighs just 4 pounds and uses 2 blades that spin at about 2,400 RPM, much faster than helicopter blades on Earth, which is necessary because of Mars' thin air. Ingenuity was equipped with solar panels to recharge its batteries and could operate on its own. It had a navigation camera and a system to communicate with Perseverance, which then sent the data back to Earth. Over nearly 3 years, Ingenuity completed 72 flights, far surpassing its original goal. It flew for a total of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 48 seconds over 1,004 Martian days. This incredible achievement in Mars' tough conditions not only showed its durability, but also demonstrated the potential for aerial scouts in exploring other planets. But not everything went smoothly. On January 18, 2024, during its 72nd flight, Ingenuity's rotor blades got damaged during landing, which caused it to stop working permanently. A week later, NASA declared the mission over. Despite this unexpected ending, Ingenuity made many important discoveries alongside Perseverance, forever changing the way we explore other planets. What did they find on Mars? When the rover Perseverance landed in the Jezero crater, scientists were curious about the types of rocks they might discover. They had some ideas. It could be ancient lava, or perhaps rocks shaped by wind and water over time. In its first year on Mars, the rover made an amazing discovery. It found different types of igneous rocks, including remnants of lava flows and rocks formed from magma that cooled slowly. These rocks weren't just ordinary. They contained tiny crystals that helped scientists understand how they were formed. Even more interesting, these rocks showed signs of having been in contact with water at some point, suggesting they might have once been part of an environment that could support tiny life forms. With each discovery, we get closer to understanding Mars' past and future. The silent stones of Santa Cruz. If these rock samples ever make it back to Earth, they could provide crucial information about volcanic activity on Mars and help us understand the timeline of the planet's geological events, especially in the Jezero crater. On a noteworthy day, February 16, 2022, Perseverance took a wide shot of an area known as Santa Cruz. This image, made from 24 separate photos, allowed scientists to take a closer look at the stones and landscape of the area. The rover made another exciting discovery at a place called Wildcat Ridge, located in a well-preserved sedimentary deposit within Jezero. The findings suggested that this area might have once been home to an ancient lake. The sediments, probably left behind by a still body of water, showed signs of ongoing interaction with water even after they had been deposited. But this wasn't the most surprising part. These findings hinted that the conditions in these ancient rocks might have been suitable for life a long time ago. And the type of sediment found there was perfect for preserving any traces of past life. Perseverance revealed a more detailed history of water in the Jezero crater than scientists had previously thought. While it was already known that a lake once filled the crater, new images showed that sediments had built up in a delta shape, indicating a dynamic and lively water past. In addition, the rover found evidence of strong floods that had carried large boulders into the crater, although the source of these floods remains unknown. Beyond the geological discoveries, Perseverance also achieved a major technological success with the MOXIE experiment. This device, which had been discussed earlier, successfully turned Mars' carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere into oxygen. Over its operation, MOXIE produced about 4 ounces, or 122 grams, of oxygen, enough to sustain a human for about 4 hours. This success suggests that future missions could allow humans to produce their own oxygen on Mars. By September 2023, after 2 years of work, MOXIE completed its final run, leaving behind a legacy of innovation and a glimpse into what might be possible for human life on Mars in the future. Hearing sounds from Mars for the first time was a truly amazing achievement. Scientists were able to listen to the Martian atmosphere using microphones on the Perseverance rover. The rover recorded sounds like the gentle breeze and the noise made by its dust-cleaning tool. These recordings revealed that sound travels more slowly on Mars than on Earth. This happens because Mars has a thin atmosphere, mainly made up of carbon dioxide. The loudness of sounds also changes depending on the atmospheric pressure, which varies with the changing Martian seasons. When the atmospheric pressure is low, the microphone barely picks up any sound, creating an almost complete silence. On Mars, sounds that we hear clearly on Earth would seem much softer and quieter. Even high-pitched sounds like whistling would be hard to notice. But this isn't the most surprising part. This new way of studying sound helps scientists understand more about how Mars' atmosphere behaves and how it changes with the seasons. It also gives clues about how well the rover is operating in such a different environment. Perseverance wasn't working alone. It had help from Ingenuity throughout its mission. Together, these rovers have sent back some incredible discoveries to Earth. One of the most recent videos from these rovers showed NASA the first ever 360-degree view captured by the Curiosity Mars rover. It was followed by a new panoramic view from the Perseverance rover, taken near the last known location of the Mars Ingenuity helicopter, all in stunning 4K quality. These videos give us breathtaking glimpses of the Martian landscape. While these rovers continue their successful missions, everyone is eagerly waiting to see what NASA will do next. The future of Mars exploration holds a lot of promise. Right now, the rovers are busy collecting samples that scientists hope will tell us more about Mars' ancient history and whether it could have supported life. However, there's a long wait ahead. These samples, brought back by the Mars Sample Return Program, won't make it back to Earth until at least 2033. This ongoing project, along with future missions, keeps the excitement of exploring other planets alive, constantly pushing the limits of what we can learn about our neighboring planet. What secrets might Mars reveal about extraterrestrial life? Like, comment, and subscribe for more.